We are out here today, out in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. I'm joined by my friends Maggie and Sarah, a couple surfers who traveled all the way from Georgia to come rip it up in the Outer Banks. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the show today. So the first question I want to ask to both of y'all, and Maggie, I'll start with you, is what do you love about the sport of surfing?
Oh gosh. For me, as far as surfing, is just getting out there and being so vulnerable to the ocean and just letting it absorb you entirely and just have fun, go out and ride the waves.
And Sarah, what about you? What do you love about surfing?
I love how it brings everybody together in this common love to protect the wave and to protect the ocean. I just think it's really beautiful.
Yeah, and I think one thing you guys hinted to in that first instance is so awesome. I really wanted to get this in the conversation. I think surfing is so different from any other sport because in basketball you can just go shoot. Baseball, you just need a piece of grass, play the grass to go throw, just a glove and a ball. But surfing, you have to wait till the waves are right. And I think there's an added spiritual component when you have that connection with nature because the waves have to be right on that day for you to go. I think that makes you appreciate it more. You know what I mean? And I play baseball, and I know a lot of our listeners play different sports, but I think surfing, like working with nature, is part of what makes it so special. So I want to ask you guys next, how did you guys meet and what were your first impressions of each other? And Sarah, I'll start with you.
So I met Maggie in our swimming class at University of Georgia. I think we met on like the second day, and I feel like we just clicked because we both just started talking about how much we love surfing, and so it was just kind of nice, and we were like, oh my god, that's so crazy, and then we just like started going on trips together. So
wow, that's dope.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what were your first impressions?
I say the same thing. I came from San Diego and I learned how to surf there, and I was like, I need to meet someone here that knows how to surf. So I met Sarah like one morning. I was like, so you surf or something? Like, why are you here? Why are you in the water? She's like, yeah, baby. So that's how we went out together. And first impression, I was like, you surf? I surf. Let's surf.
No, that's dope. And what would you say your biggest piece of advice is to someone who's surfing for the first time? They're hopping in the water with the board. They're all excited. As people who have been surfing for a little bit now, you've obviously surfed in San Diego. You've been surfing some places as well too. But if you had to give advice to someone on their first day of surfing, what would you tell them? And Sarah, I'll start with you this time.
I would definitely say learn your safety, because when I started out, I wasn't really focused on that, and you don't think about how not only are you worrying about yourself and your board, but you have to worry about everybody else in the water. And as a beginner, I did not think about any of that until I started watching YouTube videos.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Especially with like the rip tides out here and stuff. Like, gotta learn to swim to the side and stuff. That's a great point. And Maggie, what about you? Biggest advice to someone starting surfing on their first day?
Yeah, I would definitely say safety, and I honestly started not too long ago too, but definitely just go out and have fun. It's what you said earlier, just take each wave as it is, and if you get knocked down, keep going back, just keep doing it.
You gotta enjoy the getting shacked as much as the barrels. And the guy who's my friend Ika, he always says the guy who is the best surfer is the one who enjoys and is having the most fun. So shout out to my guy Ika. I hope you check out this interview. But my next question for y'all is, and Maggie, I want to ask this to you first because you're a photographer. So what fuels you? What drives you in life? I know I was looking at your page when we just met, last night, that you did a lot of photography and things when you're out in San Diego, a lot of creative stuff. So what fuels you to be the best photographer you can be?
That's a great question. Yeah, I think just honestly understanding other people and their perspectives of life and their culture, their backgrounds. Humans are just so fascinating, so I want to capture that, whether it's behind the camera or just meeting people out in the waves, just absorbing their personality and their perspective of life and capturing that in a photo is what I love to do.
So we talked a little bit, we're strapping your board in the car, about life perspectives. So why do you think you're so interested by other people's perspectives?
I think it's just kind of cool. We're all here on one earth, just learning and doing things as we go and growing. And so I think it's good to just communicate and talk about life and being open-minded as you expand your own perspective, doing that.
Yeah, I mean, we're all on this earth. We're all spirits inside of a body just trying to figure it out. And I think me and Kai were talking about this, and it's just been such a mellow, nice trip. But I think learning the relationship between this body we're given and the spirit of our lives, that the things we want to do and the passions we have and the people around, like that's like a common human experience. I think everyone has that perspective, and like to be able to share it with other people is just an amazing thing, and that's cool. You can capture it through photography. Last question on photography before I go to Sarah, though. What makes good photography? What is a good? What makes a good photo?
Good question. I think for me, it's honestly understanding that other person, like the person who is the subject, and making them just so comfortable in front of the camera, because then you can like really absorb their personality and all that. So behind, it's not just taking the picture; it's understanding the person and then capturing that personality in the photo.
Wow, I got to think on that. That's a lot. That's the thing about it. And Sarah, what would you say? And you're out here like on this great adventure that's so awesome. You know, we're on our first surf trip. You guys have been a lot of places and done a lot of things. But what motivates you in life to be the adventurous person, do all these adventures, and kind of be the person who you are?
I just love to travel, and I think that like learning how to surf has brought me like to all these places. So I would say surfing is what drives that. Because I never really had the desire. I mean, I kind of wanted to travel, but not like I do now. Like, I just want to find the wave and, like, you know, like meet cool people and that kind of thing. So, probably surfing, yeah.
All right. And you guys, you know, you alluded to it. You guys are both at UGA right now. So, a question I've added to the present tense, and, you know, I interview a lot of people in college, but I like this one, so I'm going to ask it to y'all right now. If you could go and sit in an empty dorm room and see your freshman year self walking on the first day, what advice would you give them? And Sarah, I'll start with you.
To not feel tied down by a specific major, or not feel like I'm forced to follow the path that I'm on, or like use my degree, I guess. Probably that.
I got you. And what are you majoring in?
Civil engineering. Well, which currently is the plan, yes. But like because when I was a freshman, I wanted to go to vet school. So I just like completely changed like course. So I guess if I get into my career and change my mind, like, you know, probably.
So
it's okay.
For you, and we were talking about like some architectural type stuff, but you said you wanted to get more involved in sustainability and stuff. So that was really interesting. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So I really I love the ocean, obviously. And so I kind of wanted a career where I could, you know, like work with more sustainable development type thing and like coastal preservation. It's all just it's important to me, so we'll see where it takes me.
Is that like building up sand dunes and stuff like that and make sure like coastlines are set, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like that.
I got you. Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
No, I got you. That's such a dope goal, because I feel like the ocean, like even just like sitting out here right now, like it's hard to describe like what the ocean can make you feel. It's a shame like that this might be threatened by activities that humans are doing, because I feel like it's been such a gift we're given, and like if that's taken away, like I'm glad we have people out there like you doing that, you know what I mean, to protect it.
I hope so.
Awesome. And Maggie, if you could speak to the girl who walked in on that first day of college, what would you tell her?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
I would say, I mean, me then was definitely like so in my shell and was not myself, trying to like fit into certain crowds. So I would tell her now, like, just be yourself, and the right people will come to you, and like all the positive energy will come to you. And yeah, like if you need to change majors, same thing, like do it. If you need to drop out, do it. But yeah.
No, yeah, that's awesome. And I think coming out of your shell is one of the biggest lessons anyone can learn. I don't know if you've read anything or heard any podcasts by Dr. Jordan Peterson. I heard a line from him. It was, the greatest adventure in life is to tell the truth, and to tell the world about yourself, and to tell the truth about who you are, and to meet people like that, like who appreciate the true you. It's such an amazing experience. It can take you all kinds of crazy places. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you were obviously like a surfer, and you were willing to share that, and now look, you're here at the OBX doing a podcast. Like, so all right, my next question for y'all is, if you had to listen to one musical artist for the rest of your life, I wanted to ask y'all this at dinner, but I didn't want to spoil this question because it's one of my favorites in the present tense. Who would that artist be?
I'm gonna have to go with George Ezra. I just feel like his songs are so happy and upbeat, and yeah, I don't know.
I got you. I said Mac Miller.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Not too much enthusiasm about all that, but hey, fall down 4-1-2 Pittsburgh. Okay.
I love Mac, but I say Goth Babe all the way. Goth Babe.
What genre is that?
Okay, it sounds like it's like a punk band, but
Okay.
it's like an indie surfer music style, and they're
Uh-huh.
like they all kind of the same like indie beat. It's really good.
Yeah, that's
it's really
dope.
good.
I've been really into Skeggs. One of my friends, Callie, put me on. Yeah, for sure. All right, next question. If you could surf at any beach in the world right now, obviously the Outer Banks is pretty cool, but like bucket list, Outer Banks, is awesome. But if you could surf any beach in the world, any country, any continent, what beach would it be?
I don't really know a specific beach, but I'd say Australia is
Mm.
definitely like
That's
I'd
up there for
love
me.
to surf there. I don't really know any other beaches.
No,
Though.
but yeah,
But
no,
Australia.
that's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Nazareth. No,
That'd be 100-foot balls.
no.
That's what it's on the video now.
I'm too bold. I would say, honestly, yeah, like Australia, somewhere in that area, I've seen really cool. And honestly, just to love go back to San Diego. It's
San Diego.
yeah.
San
that's where
Diego.
it's-
Stay classy, San Diego.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to say, have you guys seen Endless Summer? I'm going to go with Tahiti. Waterfalls, palm trees. Looks like a nice time, you know what I mean? Looks like I think part of the cool thing, like what you're saying about surfing too, is like it takes you to places where there's different culture. Like even though OBX is different from Topsail, but imagine going to somewhere like Tahiti or Australia or Nazaré. Like that'd be insane. You know what I mean? All right. Do you guys have a favorite surfing movie of all time? Because we can go just normal movies. For surfing, I'd say Point Break for me. Simple. Have you guys seen Point Break? Point Break. Although Endless Summer is really good. But let's go this question. Favorite movie of all time and why?
I'm gonna have to go with Airplane. It's just really funny. I don't know.
Airplane.
Yeah, like the
I've never heard of that.
old like comedy movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. We have a word from our camera person, Kylie Sweather. Shout out to her. And for you, Maggie, what's your favorite movie of all time and why?
Well, it's funny because mine actually is a surf movie, and it's Surf's Up.
Yeah, Chicken Joe.
Yes, I will stand by that movie.
No, that's dope.
It's Chicken Joe, and like it's honestly it's a kids movie, but I feel like there's so much more meaning behind that. And just enjoy life.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool. All right, next question. We're gonna get a little bit deep again. What is one word you would use to describe yourself? Well, I'm sorry. You want to come on the podcast?
No, start with her.
Oh, I'm falling over. Here we go. The wind's blowing me over.
Wait. Repeat the question.
If you had to describe yourself in one word. Here, I'll give you, because I always, I said curious about myself, because I really pride myself on being curious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, trying to find new things, trying to experience new things. Like, I think that's a big thing that I want to be known for in life. So, Maggie, what about you?
That's a good one. I'd say mine's bubbly overall because I love to just laugh and smile, and just the more you can do that, the more positive you can spread.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And Sarah, what about you?
I'm gonna say independent.
Mm.
No other words, just that. That's all
awesome. All right, now a new one. I haven't even dropped this one. We got season 6 of the Present Tense coming out in just a couple of days, but this is a new one that's going to get added to the season. And it is, what is something you have done in your life that you are proud of? That's tough. Y'all are the guinea pigs. This is the first time I've asked this question on the show. Oh, thank you.
I think like literally this, like going to new places. Like I would have never, like we were talking about this the other night, like to have looked into the future from like 5 years ago and like thought I would be like going to Costa Rica, like going to Outer Banks on like little surf trips. Like I would have never guessed that. So probably just like doing stuff like this. Yeah.
That's dope. Wow, that's a good answer. Maggie?
I'd say for me, just like constantly like learning new things and shift gears when I need to. Because when I was in high school, I played the saxophone for like 8 or 9 years.
Oh, wow, that's dope.
Yeah, it was super cool. But then I was like, this isn't what I want to do. So even though I had like all this pressure to like continue on and like do this new thing or like continue like majoring in it and all that stuff, I told myself no, like I'm gonna do what I want to do with life and shifted to photography. So I think I was proud of myself for
awesome.
able to accept that and do that. Yeah.
So now I always tell Kylie that I have to answer the question when I come up with a new one. So the thing I would be most proud of, For me, would probably be. Yeah, this is a tough one, but I would say I would probably say it is tough, but for me, I'd probably say not being scared to talk to new people. I think I'm proud of that because sometimes, like, I think doing these interviews, like, I get really nervous that, like, I'm gonna mess up or someone I might not like. I'm trying to be myself on here, and someone might, like, not like that in the videos and stuff. But, like, I think being able to be myself and not compromise who I am for anyone else, and because of that, I've been able to find really good people. Obviously, like, I just met you guys, but you guys are so dope. You know what I mean? And, like, I think the only way to find your crowd in life is, like, to show your vulnerability, show your humanity, because we all have embarrassing and silly and goofy moments. But I think being yourself, that's how you attract the people that you're supposed to be around.
And, I mean, you're doing great for this podcast. Like what you said, like, be proud of yourself.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so let's go. 2 more questions. Well, one more question than our quote of the day. So for this question, what is the biggest trait that's needed to be successful in surfing?
I guess just being bold, like challenging yourself. I think that's really important. You know, being like, you know, you might want to chicken out because you're like, oh, those waves are kind of big, but the only way you're gonna
Got some bombs today.
I know. And I was scared for a few of them, but like the only way you're gonna get better is if you're like, okay, let's just do this. Come on. So.
Maggie, what about you?
No, I have to say it's the same thing. And, like, honestly, we were talking about at dinner, the surfer's mentality of just, like, riding the wave, taking it down, and even if, like, you ride it or you knock out, nosedive, you still go back and you still try another wave. So just keep trying. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I think mine would be perseverance because, like we're talking about dinner, you have to enjoy getting shacked and getting barreled in the same way because the wipeouts, I think you have to enjoy that because if you learn to enjoy that, then you won't be scared to drop in. And I think in life sometimes I find myself, I'm like, I'm scared to do this, I'm scared to fail, but as long as you're willing to drop in, and whether it's a successful ride or you get crushed down to the bottom and put in the washing machine, it's all part of the experience, the highs, the lows.
I like to add one more. Okay. I also say peace overall. Just if you just kind of getting out there and just have that serenity and calm, like I feel like that's so important as well as like the high energy go.
Whoa, that's dope. Great answer. Thank you for that. That's boom, mind blown. All right, so you know this was really short notice, but do you guys have a favorite quote or saying to give us for the quote of the day segment here today on the present tense?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
I don't know who it's by. Sorry, I can't give
That's
credit.
all right.
But
That's all right.
to walk in nature is to witness 1,000 miracles. That's my favorite.
I would say evolve or repeat.
Evolve or repeat.
Yeah. If
Wow.
you like keep going a certain path or like repeating like past situations or past reactions, you're not gonna grow and continue to evolve.
Wow. 2 great quote of the days, and guys, thank you so much for coming on. This was really short notice, but it was a lot of fun. So thank you for joining me out here, and thank you for just being you and doing your thing. And I'm excited to see what y'all do in the future. So thank you. Yeah.